my last climate report to the Ontario legislature, we did look at what is the economically best way of getting to a low carbon economy. In other words, what will do the most good and cost the least? And it was pretty clear. First, you maximize efficiency, don't waste energy anywhere. Biggest opportunity quickly is in buildings because we waste a huge amount of energy heating buildings, so that goes through the outside air and cooling them as well. The second step is to drive fossil out of electricity generation, which is increasingly saves money in any event because solar, wind, and storage have become so much cheaper. And then electrify everything practicable, starting with transportation, because most of our transportation uses petroleum products, highly polluting from a climate point of view, highly polluting from an air quality and public health point of view, and also draining an enormous amount of money out of the province every year, $16 to $25 billion. And the fourth thing was to restore and expand natural infrastructure. That's not so much a question of reducing carbon emissions, but of increasing resilience and our ability to survive what's coming. All of these objectives require stable policies that don't change when governments do. And as you all know, I think we had very good climate policies in Ontario until the Ford government was elected. We had a good climate law. I mean, there were lots of things to complain about, and I did complain at great length. But in a nutshell, we were on the right track. We had a lot to be proud of, and we were doing an enormous amount of good. And it was all torn up as soon as the Ford government was elected, even though almost every one of the Conservatives elected had signed a pledge to support having a price on carbon. So the biggest challenge is how to have stable policies that survive changes in government. And that is really difficult. As a lawyer, I think legal options. There are some legal options that help. There's a suggestion, put it in the Constitution. That's the Blue Dot campaign, because constitutions have some greater protection when governments change. Lawsuits are really long shots, but can make a difference. The Urgenda lawsuit in the Netherlands has in fact forced the Dutch government to shut down their coal-fired power plant. The LaRose case in Canada, it's got legs. It might do something in terms of moving the goalposts for the federal government, whether through admissions or access to documents or opportunities to negotiate or other sorts of things. There's statutes like the UK Climate Act, which has really been designed to try to drain out some of the political poison by putting a big time gap between when decisions are made and when they have to be complied with, which reduces some of the political short-term gamesmanship. There's personal responsibility for lawmakers, which the Nordic Council does. So those are some of the legal options, which can help a little. Fundamentally, though, to get durable public policy, we need strong, loud, consistent public and business and art demands for it. Politicians care enormously what their constituents say, right, Gregor? Politicians really, really, really are influenced by what they hear from the people who talk to them. And they hear very, very frequently from the paid lobbyists from the fossil fuel industries who have an enormous amount of money to get that kind of message across, and do so over and over and over and over again. And Canadian Environmental Defense showed that the oil and gas lobby lobbied the federal government about 4 times a day for the last many years, and greatly more frequently now. So they hear from these folks all the time. So what's the other voice? Well, we need to hear responsible business loudly and frequently. They need to hear it in public, they need to hear it in private. Every one of you can join a group of some kind, whether it's a business group, a gardening group, a municipal group, and get climate on those agendas, because they don't get dismissed as easily as someone who's just the usual suspects. The federal carbon tax is designed to try to buy some public support as compared to cap and trade, which is a better economic model. I was satisfied, but people didn't understand it and doesn't put money back in their pockets. It's unfortunate most people don't know they're getting the federal carbon refund, so that's another messaging issue, but at least it was designed to try to buy some ongoing public support. But the bottom line is that people at every level need to speak up and have to never get tired of speaking up. And I ask everyone, every audience, to memorize 11 magic words. Simple, clear messages. Say it back to me. Simple, clear messages. Repeated often by a variety of trusted voices. Simple, clear messages repeated often by a variety of trusted voices. Everybody needs to speak up on this all the time. And one opportunity right now, which may not have crossed your radar, is the Senate National Finance Committee. I mean, nobody pays any attention to the Senate, I know, but they really do have influence. And they are going to be writing a report really shortly about how the federal government spends its billions of dollars on COVID response. So between now and June 9th, each of you could write to the Senate National Finance Committee and talk about how the federal government should be responding to this crisis and the importance of building back better. Pay attention to these kinds of windows and write in.